Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I don't believe in opinion polls for many reasons. They tell us they have a margin of error between 1 and 3% or something like that. Well, I tell you that it depends how you ask the question. It depends on many variables, obviously. And I have here an article which is going to tell us that according to a poll, there's no way for me to agree with this poll, but I'm going to share it with you because I have to talk about this imbecile that I'm going to talk about in this video. And it's none other than Nikki Haley. So poll, if Trump wins GOP nomination, Nikki Haley top pick as vice president, but others aren't far behind. Now, between you and I just looked over, where is it? Right here. Over her bio, and I looked over career. How she married, how she did this, how she did that, how she won her election at 31. She was appointed CEO at 26, CEO of Board of Directors, of Orangeburg County Chamber of Commerce. In 98, she was born in 72. No, she was very fast. I couldn't identify who did she suck. That's the thing. Because you can't just go like this. And then somehow, she became the governor of South Carolina, right there, in 2011. Right? So she was not even, 72, 82, 92, 2002. Right, 2002, 2012. So at 39, she became the governor of South Carolina. 39, okay. And then after about 6 years here, 6 years, she was appointed in 2017 by Donald Trump, who knows her personally, I guarantee you that not, as the United States ambassador to the United Nations. That's when I personally first heard of her. She was not something that you hear of. That was the first time I heard about. I didn't know her about when she was the governor of South Carolina or House Representative or something. Nothing. How did she just jump? How was she promoted? By whom? By whom? And why? I would like to know why. Why were her credentials to jump at what? In 2018, so that's what? In 2017, I'm sorry. So that's what? 45. So at 45, she was picked from the governorship of South Carolina and catapulted to the United Nations. What credentials did she have? Ahead of anybody else. Education. She was what? Let's see what education she's got. Okay, all right. Both her parents immigrated from India to Canada. All right, well, let's see education. Where is that here? Education. Clemson University. What did you do over there? She graduated from Clemson University in 1994 with a Bachelor of Science degree in Accounting and Finance. Maybe she read a lot about the foreign policy, about geography, geopolitics, history. In her finance, I don't think so. And she was very busy with finance. Now, it doesn't mean that in her leisure time, she didn't learn about these things. But in her speeches, all the speeches I listened to, she didn't give me that impression that she knows anything about international affairs. Anything meaning, I don't know, like a person of the seventh grade. That's their level. Now, how come she jumped from, let's go back to the United Nations. I heard her on a few instances, and besides being rude, I don't see anything fantastic. She was rude, and the mass media gave her good press because she was rude towards some people that were, I would say, more intelligent and knowledgeable than her. Anyway, but because she was rude, mass media said, that's an empowered woman. No, that's a rude woman. An empowered woman doesn't have to prove that she's empowered by being rude. Sometimes I watch all kind of videos and I find all kind of women who are very trashy, that's the word, trashy. And they're characterized by the media as being empowered because they're trashy to men. And that somehow that is classy, that's a badge of honor. Well, that's why you're not going to be fucked again. That's why nobody's going to marry you. Or it's going to just pump and dump, and then you're going to raise the kid. And the father is going to be bye-bye in Chicago in some shootout. Anyway, so let's go back to this one. I've never heard anything about her. You're never impressed. When I saw her over there that she is one of the candidates, I was like, what is this garbage doing here? And then I listened to the first GOP debate. And I was like, wow, she's the same rude person, know-nothing person. That's it. The second debate I heard from just the fight between her and the intelligent and great guy Vivek Ramaswamy. And then I said, okay, you're still the same. And now to have, I heard and I read articles and titles, how she won the debates, how Nikki Haley is fantastic. Who the hell pushes her? Because she's not. And if she is, I would like to know where, in what department. She's not, how should I put it, fast. She's not courageous. All she's got is rude. Maybe she's good in finance, but vice president finance, maybe I know, secretary of something else, treasury or something, appointed. Why was she at the United Nations again? I have no idea. Who is behind this woman? And now they tell us that she is in the first place to be Trump's vice president. I mean, Trump made a lot of, I don't know if there were mistakes or he had a plan. But first he got that idiot, the killer from the dark, from the shade, what's his name? The shadow killer, vice president. That rigid, how do you call it, a dense guy, Pence. Mamma mia, when I saw that guy, I was like, who the hell is this guy? Oh my God. And then he appointed, if you remember, the chief of staff, the first chief of staff was a guy I was like, why? This is a guy from the swamp. Why do you put this guy? And then I saw all kind of names, including his family over there. And I was like, wow, why do you put this? And when he appointed that guy, John Bolton, as the advisor, I was like, Jesus Christ, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Did he have to appoint them? Because if he did, he didn't understand who those guys were, or he did it with a plan. I couldn't figure out the plan yet. That is, let them fail so then can bring your people, but you brought your people. And two of them were Jared and what's her name? Ivanka. What the hell was that? They were senior advisors. Now remember, senior, when you have this title as a senior investigator or senior, I don't know, something, that means you've done that for some time. You know shit. You've done the job. You're good. You did it for years. What exactly did Jared do to be awarded that title of senior advisor with the Middle East? Just because he's Jewish or something? Is that what it is? Jesus Christ. Anyway, let's go back to this article and see what arguments these guys bring about Nikki. Maybe I'm just a tard. And no, I will try to play full retard in this one, okay? If Donald Trump wins the Republican nomination for president, most voters want him to pick Nikki Haley as his running mate. I don't believe that whatsoever, unless the most voters are imbeciles. And I will say that with all the consequences attached to the claim. You can't. As his running mate, according to a new national poll conducted by Harris X for the Desert News, this is where this article comes from, registered voters were asked who they want Trump to pick as his vice president if he is the GOP nominee. Among registered voters, 19% of all voters and 20% of Republicans chose Haley, the former South Carolina governor and the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Loser. But hey, she got better position than I've ever had in a society, so she must have sucked something better than I did. The second option was Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. No, the thing with Israel, I think for me, he disqualified himself. When I heard him, what he said about the thing with Israel and Hamas and the Palestinians, for me it was that was for me the last straw with Mr. DeSantis. I liked him in certain kind of things with the pandemic, with critical race theory, garbage and all that. I like that. But when he said what he said, I'm thinking, it's just because you got in Florida some kind of voters. Well, anyway. And 15 and 18% of Republicans, followed by Chris Christie. How is this possible? How is this even possible? Chris Christie and Nikki Haley, who received 9% overall and 4% of Republicans, and Vivek Ramaswamy, chosen by 8% overall and 13% of Republicans. Mr. Pence, I don't want to hear that, received 7%, like Ramaswamy. Can you believe that? Haley was the top choice among Democrats and independent voters too, as 21% of registered Democrats said they'd like Trump to select Haley. Of course, they want to lose the Republicans, which is not the Republicans, the Democrats, whatever. If he wins, 15% of independents said at the time. Now we have here Tucker Carlson, 5%, Marjorie Taylor Greene, 5%, Tim Scott, 5%. Let's see who else is important here. I don't know, nothing more than that. Nikki Haley, this is Republicans, all respondents. Pence, Vivek, Mitt Romney. This is a snake. Why do you even mention him? This is what I saw. First, regardless of who gets elected, I think he over there will have not much power. Why? Because imagine you're a king. You're a king. You're the guy. But in order to make, let's say, people collect taxes so you can be a king, you have to tell someone. You're not going to go with everybody and you're going to collect taxes. They're going to overwhelm you, going to kill you on the spot in the village. So you're going to have people going over there. How do you do that? You have some people around you and you bring them in. And those people, you tell them, you go over there, you go in that district, you don't go in that area, you go in those villages. And all those guys are going to say, yes, sire, or whatever they say. And they leave. And once they leave the room, they say, no, we're not going to go. Now, how will this guy be able to do that? To make them do that? He's going to hire some mercenaries. That's what they did. Not people from his own land. No. Mercenaries from outside. And they will have the allegiance to the king because of the money. And he's going to hire these guys. And these guys could kill the king. And they could take the power. Which happened often. So he hired these guys to kill those guys. And then he's going to appoint some other guys that again can turn against him. What I'm trying to say, you're alone. You have no power. Unless you have a brother, another brother, another brother, another brother, another brother, and a sister. Not a wife, a sister. Right? Or maybe a mom or a dad. And you have all this like a mafia gang. Those guys will not listen to you. They will listen to their connections. The ones that help them. The ones they have allegiance. Not to you necessarily. Like John Bolton. He didn't listen to him, to Trump. He didn't listen to Trump. He didn't listen to, let's say, the CIA director. He didn't listen to Trump. The guys in charge of the military. They didn't. Look at what those guys, what the hell are God, the DOG, now they turn around him. What's his name? The little weasel fat guy with, oh my God, glasses and, what the hell is his name? Anyway, that now turns around and attacks Trump. Trump appointed him. He didn't do shit. Didn't he tell him go and start investigation? Where is the laptop? Nobody moved in FBI. Why? Like the king told those guys, do this, do. Nobody did anything. So even if Vivek Ramaswamy gets to be president, even with his power, with his intelligence, with his energy, with his courage, when he gets over there, if he gets over there, he's going to convey these people. Well, he's going to appoint some people, and those people will have the same thing to further down there, like the king had with everybody around here. When these chiefs of departments go in their departments, they will convene another weasels. Those are not his people. Those were already their jobs. They're bureaucrats, not elected. You can't really fire them if they are not political positions. And if you hire, who are you going to hire? People who will be pushed by you, by whom? By your donors that help you get over there, by people behind you. You're going to owe some people. Those will dictate who is going to be this. So what I'm trying to say is, even if you're a president, you have no power. I mean, you have on the paper. When you get over there, they can say you. If they want, they can arrest you and put you in a basement every day, all day. How? Secret Service. Someone makes a call and tells the Secret Service, this guy is right here is a Russian asset. He must be suppressed temporarily. Do you think this guy is going to say, oh, are you sure? Can you prove that to me before I do that? No, he's going to follow orders because he's a machine. That's what they are, a machine. Pac gets this guy, puts his little ziplock around his hands, get him in the basement and wait for new orders, like a machine. Enter, delete, escape. Hey, now enters, escape, pop, pop, pop. That's how they are. And the president will stay over there. What is he going to do? Who is he going to call? The chief of the FBI? He made the call to the Secret Services. I'm just, what are you talking about? And if you misbehave, you might end up like Budina, or what's her name? Budinova, the wife of Budanov, get a little bit a better dose. And then you have like, what's his name? Delano Roosevelt, the second Roosevelt. After he won the fourth election, he had a little stroke while he was with his mistress somewhere. Remember? Or maybe they do it like they did to, what's his name? JFK. What's his name? Yeah, because he did it. Yeah, okay. Oswald, right? There's ways to do all these things. So if I want to see someone over there, either Trump, first, I would want to see someone who really qualifies as a leader. Someone, and Trump did to a certain extent. These guys, the only one is Vivek Ramaswamy. The rest, I don't see Vivek Ramaswamy being on anybody's pockets at this point. The other ones kind of are. Trump is not, but Trump is old. And Vivek seems more energy, as Trump would say. All right, my friends, I don't think at all that in reality Nikki Haley has popularity. These guys will try to get her down our throats, but it's not going to get close to my throat anyway. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.